All right, today's teaching tape, let's talk about pure progressions. You guys know I'm not a fan of pure progressions for a number of reasons, but one of the big reasons is oftentimes pure progression plays put a bunch of people in different zones. I am big on defender conflict, right? Put a defender in conflict. Defender read, give me a concept where I can read two guys in terms of two receivers at once based off of what the one defender is doing. So that defender in conflict. What are we going to do here? We're going to run a go route down here. We're going to run an out route here. We're going to run a cross here. We're going to run an in here. And we're going to run a swing there. So what do you notice? Everybody is in a different zone. We do not have two guys attacking any one guy on this particular play. Okay? So you're going to see how this plays out quite often. Okay? We do this. Who's the corner going to cover? He's going to cover the go. Who's going to cover the out? The guy that's covering the flat. Who's going to cover the cross? The guy that's in the backside position there. Who's going to cover the in? The guy that's in that zone. Who's going to cover the swing? The guy that's in that zone. So no one defender do I attack on this particular play. Now, there are some coverages where you could possibly get a 2-on-1. Okay, so we could have this out, and maybe if this cross gets here fast enough, we could isolate an outside linebacker on this side if that next defender inside played a little bit more strong than we wanted it. Okay, so that could happen. Okay, we could be playing strong side, and there could be one defender out here that maybe we get him to stretch with the swing, and we're able to hit the in back behind him if this next backer inside is kind of carrying with the cross. But to me, it's such a difficult concept because you're asking the quarterback to find someone open when we're not putting anybody in conflict. Throw it to somebody, Kirk. Who am I throwing it to? Everybody has a defender on them. Okay? So what do? Well, what I would do on this particular play is I make this into two concepts. So I make it into an out and a go. So this is really kind of a man concept, or a concept where I've got the corner off and I know that I got one backer over here that's tucked inside, and maybe I can win to outside leverage to that side. What do you do on the other side? I'm going to put this guy in here on a hook route, put this guy on the in, and then I'm going to put this guy on a hook route. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to eliminate that flat defender really to the outside, or if there's two underneath defenders to that side, I am going to be able to work both of those guys. So if you ran my play here, we're going to go here off of 0 right there. So I'm probably still going to read this outside in, but I'm going to try to use up 0. Instead of running through him to the next backer on the other side who's free, I'm going to keep that as a concept on that side. So I'm going to try to use up 0 with that little pop route. If I don't and he pushes past it, I can always take the pop route. But I'm going to try to use him up, and then what am I going to do? I'm going to isolate this guy. I'm going to run a wide hook here and an in. He stays tucked inside, throw my wide hook. He gets wide as I expect him to because he should stay wide as the widest. He gets wide. Now I throw my in. So I work off that outside defender. He gets width. Now I come to work off the inside defender, but everything stays on that side of the ball, so I don't bring any bodies across to this side. Okay? So visualize this. Let's say we get cover 2 to that side. So what would cover 2 be? This guy's down. This guy's back. This guy's down. Okay? So now we get cover 2 over there. Don't have to worry about this guy anymore. Running this swing, now he can cover that. But if I'm running this guy on a hook route, I'm going to put him in here so I'm not even worried about the corner anymore. And I'm running the in, so what am I doing? I'm using up the Mike linebacker with the pop. I'm getting my high-low or conflict defender with the outside linebacker, and I've got a chance for the quarterback to go over there and read those two inside backers to get an advantage 3-on-2 if I don't like what I have on the backside. So I'm not pure progressioning it. I am taking two half-field concepts and telling my quarterback, hey, If you get 2-on-2 over here, go ahead and alert that and take it. Otherwise, work your 3-on-2 because there's not going to be too many scenarios where you have 3 underneath defenders inside on any coverage, right? There's not really a defense that you're going to have that because they know they have other zones to cover. So you work those 2 defenders, and this becomes, in my opinion, a much better play and a chance for a quarterback to get a definitive read, get his eyes on somebody instead of having to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and try to work through all of that in a timely fashion and know where I'm going to find somebody open because, right, we don't know what these defenders are doing. We're not putting them in conflict. I don't know exactly who I'm going to read. So I'm just trying to find this guy and go, is he open? Nope, not open. I better get to the next guy in a timely fashion. And by the time we do that, boom, bodies all around us, and we're taking a sack. All right, here's another one. Okay, so this is a common route that you're going to see. What are we going to do? We're going to run here, go. Okay, this is actually going to look very similar to the last play, but this is actually really a choice route. Everybody kind of runs this play. It's a choice route, so he's got the chance to go outside or inside over here. And then we're going to run a return route right here. And then we're going to run a swing route over here. And a lot of times they run a go route on the outside here, but they actually are going to run a stop route here, which again kind of defeats the purpose when you have a swing and a stop because one guy can cover both of them. But the read is really okay. It's kind of an alert to the number 1, even though you don't necessarily really throw it. But 1, 2, then the timing to 3 has to be off of 2. So we're going to run a return over there because there's nothing I can go to quick to that side, which is another problem I have, right? If I know the choice isn't going to be open over here, I can't speed up my process and get over to the other side because he's running a return. I got to wait for him to run the return, and it's set up for the pure progression so I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and it can all work out timing-wise, but I can't eliminate anything quickly when we're doing this, okay? So what are you going to notice about this particular play? What? Everybody is running to a different zone. These are the only 2 guys that are going to the same zone, but there's not enough separation depth-wise to allow a person in conflict. And even if it was, it's my 4th read. It's the 4th read on this play where I'm putting somebody in conflict. So what happens? Okay, they drop out to a coverage where they've got these underneath defenders, 4 underneath defenders here. What happens? Corner's going to take him. What happens? This guy's going to take him. Let me work back to my return. Who's going to take the return? Oh, body there. Let me work back to my swing. Who's going to take the swing? Guy there to use him up. So now we're in a position where, once again, we don't have anybody in a position of high-low to conflict anybody. We're running to different zones. We're trying to time it up, and we're hoping that somebody comes open when we're not doing anything to get someone open. Okay? So that to me is where I have all of these problems with the pure progression stuff, is that I need something to happen where I can put someone in conflict on a particular play. And here you see it. What's Kirk do? He's got to kick it out to the swing, and thank goodness he's got a really good running back right there that makes a couple people miss and gets a big play. But really, and then the other fact is we're going out here with the return, so we're actually taking this guy to where he wants to go outside, which sets him up, or should set him up, to be able to make this tackle as he passes this off to the next guy. And again, we get fortunate here because they've got bodies there. If they take the right angle, this is probably a loss on the play because they've got guys in all of the different positions to cover it. And the same thing, because again, okay, this is cover 3, and you can say, well, what if they play other coverages? Okay, so let's put them in different coverages here. So let's take one of these droppers, X him out, and let's pretend like he's back here and he's back here in cover 2. And now we've got these guys down. Okay, where do we get the advantage? We go on the go route, don't really get an advantage because this X safety over here has no other threat inside, so he can go out and overplay to the go. Okay, this isn't any good either direction because we got a guy inside of him and a guy outside of him. Okay, then we're going to run the return. Well, we've got a guy coming to the inside on the return there and a guy outside of him. Then we're going to run the swing, and on the swing, we basically have not only the outside linebacker, but the corner is rolled over there, and this guy probably converts it against cover 2, but that's no good because we've got the safety over there. So again, we're running to all these different zones, and zone coverages have guys in those zones. And so here we are again, forcing our quarterback with no definitive read, having to work through everything, having to hope that he goes from one side to the other, finds a guy open, verifies the coverage, has the right timing. And I see this all the time in the league. Hey, thank goodness I got a stud that made this work. And we come back and say, what a great play. And as a quarterback, I go, man, we got lucky there because they had guys in position. They just didn't make the play. And too many pure progressions are just like that. Hey, somebody will screw it up. Oh, my guy will win off of this guy. Instead of going, doesn't matter. Let's put 2 guys on 1. Give me an advantage so I can get back, read that defender, get the ball out, and play quickly.